What you can do is that if your partner ends up pushing food on you because they want you to participate with them while they're eating their snacks at 11 o'clock at night watching Netflix, you could say no to that. They need to respect your boundaries, right? And you can say, I'm actually working on my mindful eating and connecting to myself, and I make choices with eating and weight loss, whatever it is. And so I'm going to pass. And they need to be okay with that, right? But this is a journey. Just like you're going to have feelings when your partner doesn't change their eating habits for you, they're going to have feelings when you say no to them. But the most important thing is that you guys don't see that as a rejection of each other. You see that as an opportunity to support each other in a new way. And then let's talk about the physical part, right? The intimacy, the physical connection, because I do think this is something that maybe is underlying for some people, but we just don't talk about it as much. And so I think it's important, and I do this actually. I talk openly to my husband about my body image struggles when I have them, right? I let him know how I'm feeling, even if it's uncomfortable. Like I will say, like, oh, I don't feel so good in my body today. I'm feeling really, bloated and, just not comfortable in my body. And I share that with him, right? And I've also expressed to him that I'm not looking for him to tell me to go work out or give me some sort of fix, find solutions for me. I just want him to be like, that's okay, babe. Like it's hard. And, tell me he still loves me, which of course I know, but it's nice to hear. And it's really nice to unburden the pressure and that feeling that I have inside about my body insecurity and be able to share it, because that's one of the great things about being in a partnership is that you can share these things with people. You can share these things with your partner, and that ability to feel held and seen and truly unconditionally supported in your insecurity, that creates the connection that we think food, avoiding the conversation and creating distance is going to create, because it doesn't. It doesn't create that. Vulnerability, communication does. And then the last thing I do want to say is that if you're in a partnership and the conflicts feel very hard and overwhelming, and you don't find that support through listening to this podcast or joining the mentorship or, like any, support in these kind of ways are helping you, you really might want to consider couples counseling, support from a professional. You really might want to think about tools and learning tools and maybe more support at a higher proximity to really work through your individual issues. And of course, that is everybody. Everybody is in their own relationship and everybody knows what they need. But just because there's conflict doesn't mean there's not love. And, love deserves effort to make it work. And so if food related conflict, whether it's food related that's covering up other conflict, or, you're struggling there, there's this struggle between the two of you to really get on the same page with this, working with a coach one-on-one, or, a professional one-on-one to get, one-on-one and together as a couple can help you both feel supported through the process for sure.